All right, just pulled in at ECR down here in Decatur, Texas, about an hour outside of Dallas. All signed in, did my waiver and stuff at registration, and now I gotta try to find a spot to pit. And this place is packed. A kind of narrow paddock, so I'm gonna spend some time here trying to find a place to set up. So I'm all settled in, registered, tagged, all that kind of good stuff. Unfortunately, they're not allowing track walks because you wouldn't be able to make it around the track before it gets dark. So I'll go out, I'll have one practice tomorrow to see what the track looks like, and then I'm race number 2 for the day. So looking forward to it. Gonna have to study a map tonight. The car test pretty cool. And yeah, we'll see how tomorrow goes. Practice 1 is done. Decent practice session. I think we were out there for 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. So I actually got a few laps in. I want to say eight laps in. I've got just one race today, and it's race number 2. So just one race that's about to start, and then I'm up, and then I'm done for the day. So here we go. First race of the weekend. Race 1 of the weekend is in the bag. It's the only race I've got today, so it was really good. It was a pretty full grid. I think about 20 or so experts, and maybe 10 or 15 amateurs. Close battles the whole race. It was fairly tight. Right off the start was kind of nuts. Got held up. I don't know if a guy chopped his throttle or what, but there was 2 or 3 of us all in a line that got kind of packed up real bad entering turn 1. Definitely a crazy start. Then kind of smoothed out a little bit, got in a rhythm. But it was only a six lap race, so not a ton of time. About halfway through or so, I latched onto a guy, and we were fighting pretty good. Weren't really doing a whole lot of back and forth. It was more me trying to find a place to get by, and then certain sections he was a bit quicker and would open up a gap. So came down to the last lap. I was able to squeeze by him at turn between what I would call 3 and 4, but I don't know what they actually are, how they're actually numbered here. Kind of a close one, but got him on the brakes coming into like a down carousel. It was pretty good, and I went and talked to him after, and he said it was no issue. It was perfectly clean, and then he tried to latch on and finish out the lap. So good fun race 1. Kind of got my toes wet for the track here, and now I can just get the bike ready and everything for tomorrow. Get some tires slapped on, brake pads, and just that's it. Then I can chill and watch some other races for the day. Oh, and I was able to drop some time too. So the best I did in practice was a 210, and in the race I hit a few 204s, with the lowest being 204.3, I think. So nice 6-second drop between practice and race, and hopefully I'll keep dropping time a little bit, but I'm not going to get another 6 seconds, unfortunately. Tomorrow, I'll be pretty happy if I could lose another second, maybe even a second and a half. I think that'd be pretty good before I start to really plateau and get tired. But that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow for 3 races. Okay, morning of day 2. Riders meeting. They just did first call for riders meeting. It's supposed to be at 7:10. Yesterday it was like 10 or 15 minutes late, but basically run up there and then 3 races today. Here we go. Just finished practice 2, so 2 practice sessions done on Sunday morning here, and I'm race number 3 on the day. I'm graded in last. I'm 20th out of 20 on the grid, so it should be an interesting race for 6 laps, and then we got 2 more after that to finish the weekend. Alright, race number 1 for Sunday done. Did not go well. I started at the very back, probably finished at the very back, other than the people that ran off. And I might have moved up a couple spots on track, might have passed a couple people, but for the most part, I went slower than yesterday and finished pretty near the rear. On to the next race. Race 2 just finished, and it was awesome. That was a spicy race. I got a good start, got in a decent pack of guys at the front. Good battles all race long. I did give up a few positions early on, but then midway through I started making some ground back, and then last 2 laps I made a couple just single passes, and then on the very last lap, like 5-6 corners to go, I was able to come up the inside of a downhill left-hander. Really good spot. Came in on the brakes and got by like 3 or 4 guys all at once and held it to the end. So really exciting race. But I just came in and found out my GoPro, it got like the start and then shut off through between turn 1 and 2 or something, and then came back on for a few seconds. I got basically 3 or 4 15-second clips. So that's a huge bummer. On probably what was the most exciting race of the weekend. The next race I've got solo endurance or mini endurance, and there's only I think 2 of us in the middleweight class, so that one's not going to be super thrilling. Decent race too. Down back in the 204s, still not where I was yesterday, but making up time and getting there for the last race.